each state.
Tyler Allender is back with us. We'll go back to Washington in a moment. I do want to update you on my technical issues with Macy there, and wasn't able to get it worked out. She had to go into court because court was starting. So, anyways, we will try to catch Macy coming out of that hearing. Again, that's a status hearing for Ibrahim Yazid on the Anaya Blanchard case, and so that's in Macon County, Alabama today. So we hopefully will have an update for you coming up on that in just a little while. And we've been talking about Snowpocalypse 2026.
Right.
Yeah, not gonna come to fruition.
I don't think so.
So I guess for a lot of folks though, we've been talking about we brought up the 4Ps. This was a 4P night that we just came out of.
Yes.
Yeah. People, pets, plants, and pipes.
Pipes. Yep.
But I would rank actually pipes higher.
Higher. Yeah. Right.
So I would move pipes up the list a little bit, but it's one of those nights. Tonight, maybe not going to qualify.
Right. I mean,
fortunately,
right.
But more on the way, though, right?
Yes, we're going to have more of that on the way, kind of after this winter weather event. So, that's why it always gets kind of tricky around here. Unlike last year where we had the cold air in place and the moisture was coming in, we had no question that there was going to be accumulating snow last year on January 21st. But this year, and most years, there's always that dividing line, the rain, the snow line, but also the question of how much moisture will we really have. We're going to have some rain late tonight and tomorrow morning. Then the air probably tries to dry out, but also some moisture just kind of hangs out to our south. So it's going to be definitely interesting to watch. We're still a little less than 48 hours out.
Yeah.
And there can be surprises, and there probably will be some surprises for better or worse.
Sure.
But I think for most of us, this is not going to be a winter storm that we remember.
Do we see the swing through again? We had like the precursor last year, and then what, it was about 2 weeks later? 2-3 weeks later.
Some models have more snow at the end of the month again in the southeast. So winter ain't over till it's over, right?
Maybe a white Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, there you go. That'd be something.
So I thought it fit really nicely that we had the 3-day weekend here. So I was kind of pulling for it. Like, okay, if it's gonna Sunday's great because I don't have to go to be Monday.
Yes.
I just don't want to be, and this is selfish ambition here, 110%. All right. So last year it started snowing. I was on paternity leave. And I looked at that baby boy and I said, "Thank you, Sam, because he jumped on us like a week or so early."
Right.
I said, "Brother, thank you so much for saving your dad from having to just stand on the side of like I-85
in the snow."
So uphill both ways, reporting on.
But that would have been
black
a
ice.
horrible drive anyway.
So it was. I don't know what we would have done. It just, there's a lot of what ifs that you could talk about there, but the fact that he was born when he was, I don't know if they'd maybe come over to stay in a hotel over here in Columbus, and then, what do? If your wife's at home in an ice storm, goes into labor. Anyways, we had the potential for a real mess at my house.
Right.
And
avoided
everything just jumped the gun.
Fell into place.
And it was right on time. So it was a beautiful experience. His birthday's tomorrow, by the way. So he will be 1 year old. So
love that.
So
happy birthday to Sam.
A quick year too. So I forgot to put his picture in this morning. I got to do that on Monday.
Monday.
So I'm counting on you to remind me of that. So
we both won't be here Monday. So
that's true. All right. So we get him Tuesday. We'll get him Tuesday here on the old holiday weekend. You're right. So 3-day weekend coming up. Let's talk about it though. And it's going to be green grass, not white grass.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, for sure. We've been mentioning the snow for a couple of days. If you've been hounding social media, you've seen it for, I don't know, off and on for a week to 10 days now, because even with the rain that we had, I think it was, I can't even remember now, Tuesday or Wednesday, we had models that were showing snow, and some people were believing that. We never had snow in the forecast for the middle of this week. Now, for the last couple of days, we've been talking about this wintry weather event that would potentially develop close by to us. And we said yesterday, 20% chance of accumulation for our area. And today that more or less stays the same, but we've kind of focused it, hyper-focused it on the southeastern areas. So the best chance, if any wintry precipitation were to occur and to stick, would be the best chance southeast of Columbus. But accumulations likely to be insignificant, so not significant accumulation or impacts, because temperatures are going to be above freezing for a while. Temperatures are a big player in this. So as we look at Sunday morning, and moisture levels too, in the green shaded area, that's a good chunk of our coverage area, a good chance of a cold rain or no rain at all. And then in the pink area, and I fully expect some areas of sunshine too in that green area. The pink area, better chance that there's going to be some rain switching to snow and maybe sleet before that happens. But because the temperatures are likely to be generally above freezing, if the snow falls in certain areas, chances are it's going to melt when it hits the ground's just going to be wet. It may stick to a few grassy surfaces. The models are more in agreement today. The GFS and European, yesterday and the day before, the GFS was just going bonkers with snow, like several inches of snow. We were pretty much throwing it out because it was one of the outliers. It started last night, it came down to meet with the European. Then this morning, the European showed more than the GFS American model. And the latest run, the GFS is kind of taken back up again. But notice where the blue is, where the snow chances are, mainly to the south and east of Columbus. So low temperatures this morning. It was cold. We know that, upper teens, lower 20s. 50s now. This is crucial because we're going to stay warmer for the next 24 to 48 hours. And just a little bit of a system coming through tonight and tomorrow morning that gives us some rain, mainly while we're sleeping. Some of it lingers into the morning. Here's our futurecast wide view showing tonight's system coming in and tomorrow morning system, really after midnight tonight. Start getting some of that rain along I-85. Probably by sunrise, generally Auburn, LaGrange, Lafayette will be drier, and most of the rain will be the southeast, but it could kind of hang out a little while in our southern counties. And then that's the area where the moisture's more evident. And as colder air eventually comes in, first thing Sunday morning, our model kind of hints at that changing to a little bit of snow. But that's pretty much out of our coverage area. Of course, this isn't our official forecast, but this is, one that lines up pretty close to it. So, we err on the side of caution, and that pink zone, that wintry mix snow zone, is a little farther north that we have it. But you see how the snow band kind of sets up closer to Tifton, Valdosta, and places east of there. And again, a lot of us could even have some pretty good amount of sun most of Sunday. So again, there's kind of the breakdown with what we're thinking based on all the data that we've consumed. A lot of the things that you see on social media, you see the worst case scenario, or I guess the best case for those who love snow. And so that's what gets all the shares and attentions and everything like that. But we kind of have to reel it back in here and look at all the data, come up with our forecast, and that's what we think is the most reasonable for right now. The other thing is, again, the temperatures. So here we are Sunday at midnight, going into Sunday morning. Upper 30s, low 40s. So even if we have some rain, southern counties, moisture, it's rain. And then eventually, usually you start to see that switch over happen like when you get to around 37 degrees or so. And so as we get closer to daybreak, the gray that you see covering the area, by the way, are clouds. It's the white and the blue, that's snow, bottom part of the screen there, and it just pretty much misses us. But there could be some flakes mixed in and things like that. But again, because temperatures are still above freezing in most spots where the moisture is at 8 a.m. Sunday, we just don't think there's going to be major impacts. So again, some may see snow in the southeastern areas flying and falling from the clouds, but it's just probably not going to stick, which is good if you're trying to head to church and things like that, or not good if you're wanting to make a snow angel. So this isn't going to be a big snow event, I don't think, for us.
Yeah, well, you guys have been saying that all along, pretty much. And so way better than the models.
Yeah. And
the real thing.
Yeah.
Meteorologist in the flesh.
Right, so we'll see, it's a big challenge because, you kind of have to, there's a lot of noise out there, and you kind of, people are saying, oh, I don't believe you, and, all this stuff, but you just you kind of have to be reasonable because the models just go all over the place.
And there's believe it or not, people will say things on the internet to get you to click on there.
Yeah. Surprise.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but it happens.
It does.
So I know that you're as shocked as we are by hearing that news.
So just consume. We always encourage you to consume
responsibly.
and share responsibly
Yeah.
in more ways than one.
Listen, whether you're drinking beer or reading Facebook posts, all right,
Yep.
you consume responsibly.
Exactly.
All right, so that's the same thing applies. All right, so and don't drink in Facebook. All right, so very good, sir. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back on the Morning Rush. Stay with us.